Hey guys, in this video we're going to create this dashboard in Figma. So by the end of the video you're going to learn all sorts of tips and tricks as well as my workflow when creating this type of projects in Figma, and we're going to create two variations of it, so stick to the very end. And by the way, if you're interested in learning Figma from the ground up, I created a course on how to do that, so feel free to check it out in the comment section. And without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, so let's get started and let's create this app. So the very first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to go on the frame tool, and we're going to select the desktop. We're going to select the very first one, which is 1440 by 1024. So that's what we just done, and we're gonna zoom right in. We're going to rename this to 1. And by the way, I'm also going to add the keyboard viewer in order to show you exactly each and every keyboard action which I'm gonna do. So let's get started with the top header. So let's go ahead and let's create a rectangle which is going to serve us as the very top layer. I'm going to center this, and I'm probably going to simply go with a green tint. We're going to change this as we're working on it. I just want to kind of like create the base structures. So as you can see here, I just created a side menu which is just to basically get like the feeling of the app and to kind of understand the structure and the ratios that we're gonna go with. So see it as a low fidelity wireframe if you wish. And yeah, that's that. Now we're going to simply create a few of the cards which we're going to use in this project, and I think so far so good. Maybe the side menus we want to take a little bit less in space and width, and we're going to move these cards right below. And yeah, again, so far so good. I think I'm just going to keep it white for now, and probably that's going to be the end result as well. Let's see what our inspiration suggests us, and then what we're gonna do is we're going to just increase a little bit the blur, so we have a nice drop shadow right here, and let's put this one below so we can see the shadow also here. We're going to make this side menu with a blue tint, a grayish blue tint, but something like really subtle. Okay, cool. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to copy the style right here. So you can also do it by simply going on the very left element and going on copy style, and then paste style right here. And we'll need just a little bit of less y-axis action going on. I'm going to add a little bit of more shadow and some more blur, actually less shadow. It's a bit too much, maybe just one of in the y, but yeah, we'll figure out this as we're moving along. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to create the top header. So one thing that we're gonna do right here is we're going to add a search bar. So let's just do that. I'm going to add a stroke, remove the fill, and add just a little bit of a gray color right here. Cool. Now let's add 1.5 of stroke, and let's add just a little bit of roundedness to the entire thing. Let's add a white fill, add it to the top, and then now we're going to start and add some icons. So let's go here on Nucleo icons, which by the way is a icon library which I use all of the time. If you simply go on Google and search for Nucleo icons, oops, not iNucleo, just Nucleo. Yeah, there you go. nucleoapp.com. It's the very first. So simply go here, click on download free app, and you can access Nucleo icons as well. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to add a search icon right here. Let's zoom in. Let's make it a little bit bigger. And we're going to just move it on the left and just add a gray fill right over here. And now we're going to start also adding some text. So nothing too fancy. I'm gonna go with search, and we're going to use Open Sans. Let's give it a try for this specific project, and probably go with the semi-bold version, 0% letter spacing, and I'm going to use a color which is going to be darker than this icon, but similar in hue. And let's make this type smaller. Let's remove the dots so it's a full random number, and we're simply going to add one more point here. Okay, so far so good, perfect. So the very next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to add some sort of navigation feature right here. So we're going to leverage nuclear icons again. I'm going to write hamburger because why not? And let's go with a classic hamburger icon, which is kind of one of those icons that you're going to use quite a bit if you're doing dashboard designs. And yeah, because it simply works. All right, so let's go ahead, let's make this a little bit darker. Let's make this one darker as well. And let's just bring all of this on the very left between the menu icon and this one right here. And we're also going to add some sort of a oval shape on the right, which is going to serve us for the profile picture. And yep, that would do. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to go in the plugins, and we're going to use content reel. Let's give it a shot. Usually it takes a moment to upload. Okay, cool. And I'm just going to click on avatar until I find an avatar which kind of fits well within this composition. And I think this one does. Maybe let's try one if it's a little bit more kind of like zoomed in, as this one is a little bit zoomed out. Yeah, this would definitely do the job. I think yeah, maybe this one's the background of the subject is a little bit more clean, so let's just go with this one. Let's remove let's close content reel, and what we're gonna do next is we're going to simply go over here, and we're going to add a name to the individual. So all right, cool. So that's working, and we're just going to make this name darker. So the very next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to add some sort of an arrow, and this is going to basically enable us to access the menu. And let's go over here and add this arrow right on the right. Right on the right, that's that's it. So move this one a little bit on the left, and need some gray over here, and let's make the fill darker. All right, perfect, cool. So far so good. Maybe we're going to keep the top menu clean as it is now. Maybe we're going to add some more icons. Actually, let's add some sort of like support icon somewhere, since that's going to be useful. Yeah, maybe this information icon right here, and also let's add a bell for the notifications. So, right, yeah, this one is perfect. Cool. So let's just try and make these two icons the same size, and we're also going to increase the size just a little bit, and put them right here, and make this just a little bit bigger. This one on the left, maybe a bit smaller overall, and yeah, this is looking good so far. And let's just bring them a little bit more on the left. I think we're gonna be in a good position. Cool. So let's move on to the actual cards. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to duplicate this text right here, and we're going to rename this to UI UX project. Let's duplicate this layer again, since we're gonna need it in just a moment for the title of the cards. And let's make this one quite bigger. Yeah, maybe something around these lines would do. Let's move it down a bit, and let's try and make it, instead of semi-bold, let's try and make it bold. Cool. Instead of UI UX, just call it UX project. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to create here a duplicate of this, and we're going to change here the names. So this is going to be brainstorming, and let's just make it a little bit bigger. And we're also going to add a emoji, so be something that, yeah, the brain, that will do. For some reason the emoji is not really coming up. I'm wondering if it's like the cache in the document. Usually they would come up pretty soon, but yeah, let's forget about that. Let's go with the full name, since this is temporarily not working. But yeah, let's just duplicate this a few times. We're gonna go with brainstorming. Then we're going to do a meeting process, and then there's going to be the analytics. So these are going to be the 3 steps of the actual project. Now let's just bring this one up right here. Let's increase the font size a little bit, and next thing that we're gonna do is we're going to round up all of these rectangles right here, so we can just have a little bit of more user friendliness to the visual. So let's go right here and let's create a copy of this. Let's make it smaller. We're gonna go with 40 by 40, and we're gonna go. I'm actually wondering if going all the way around, maybe. Let's give it a shot. Let's add a stroke right here, and let's remove the fill. Stroke is going to be 1.5. We can barely see this stroke, so maybe let's go with 2. All right, that's better. And let's just bring this one here. And what we're gonna do is probably we want some sort of like a data on the left. So 23rd July. We're going to add a calendar icon. Probably will also want some tags of some sorts. So we're gonna go and add them. Cool. All right. So let's just grab the color again. I'm going to bring this one here on the right. Let's make the color the same as the search, so it doesn't detracts a lot of attention. Or maybe let's go with something a little bit lighter. Something around these lines would would probably do. Cool. So I guess at this point, let's just duplicate this card structure. So I'm going to rename it to card. I'm going to simply duplicate this one time, 2 times. Let's change this one to today, so that we're also going to show what a alert, kind of like a high attention one looks like. So we're gonna go with that. And I think so far so good. This is working overall. We still need the side menu, but kind of want to focus on this first, and kind of go from there. So all right, I'm actually wondering, let's add some dots for as a menu item on the very right. I'd like to have those. Let's change the order. Cool. All right, so this is looking good, and we're just going to duplicate a few of these guys around, and I'm probably just going to go with something around these lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and let's add only 4 here, and we're going to remove a few on this one, and over here we're going to have a different type of card which has a image. Let's go with something around these lines, and maybe let's just bring this one here. Let's bring this one to the bottom, and I'm actually wondering if an image or an illustration would work best, but let's just keep it like this. So we're going to go ahead and add some different text, so we have some visual differentiation. This one is going to be meet with Alex, stakeholders, approval, concept A to Z, ideation, visual design. Let's say that this one is meeting, or actually we already have something with meeting, conceptual phase, and this one is simply going to be organization. So over here, Alex, Mark, Tony, just going to add a few names. Perfect. This is going to be A/B testing, user research, and conclusion. All right, so far so good. Just going to change the values right here, and just going to go with a few different intervals. Going to be in August. Okay, perfect. So I think we have it from a high level, and I'm actually wondering if maybe we want to add one more of these guys. Just going to make it like this, and I'm wondering if maybe we want to just make these ones regular. Yeah, let's do that for each and every one of these. This is going to be regular, so they just don't take as much attention as they should really. And I'm actually wondering if it's better to just remove them altogether and just keep the calendar icons, because that would make the interface more clean. Maybe we can have these icons above. Yeah, actually let's do that, because this is simply going to make it way cleaner. So I'm just going to duplicate this, one as well, so we can kind of like simulate this popover effect right here. And cool. So we did a lot of work for nothing, but that's part of the process. Sometimes that's the way it goes, essentially. So part of working in this industry. Never get too attached to your ideas, because things can change quite rapidly in this industry. So yeah, definitely something to keep in mind. Cool. Let's give it a tint around these lines, semi-bold. And now we made a little bit of issues with groups, but we're gonna solve that in just a moment, so just bear with me. Cool. So far so good. I think this overall it's making sense. It's looking pretty sleek. And now let's go ahead and add the side menus. So the very first one is going to be today. We're going to have a few other ones tomorrow, or actually let's change it to calendar. Yeah, today, tomorrow we can keep those, but let's just add a little bit of more visual differentiation between these guys. Tomorrow we're going to have settings, or actually users before that. Cool. And then the next one is going to be settings, and then we're going to have a logout at the very end. Cool. So far so good. Now below some of these we're going to have some other elements. So this is going to be these elements right here, which are going to be 15, and they're going to be regular. And this is going to be January, February, and we're also going to have April. Cool. Let's just distribute these ones, and this one is going to be here. This one also going to be here, and same for the settings. Probably let's just make these guys smaller as well, so we don't have like really visually overwhelming side menus. Let's just move this one here. It's a little bit of more vertical distribution, and also some padding in between. So that's going to make the process more clean. Now I still want to see if I can add these emojis, but for some reason I don't think the font is allowing me to do so. So So I'm going to change the font. I'm just going to try not the emoji like this, but no, for some reason just Sketch is not or actually Figma is not making me do this at this present moment, and yeah, whatever. So add some of these icons right here. So I'm gonna have the calendar icon, location, set this one for today. Yeah, it's the random one is going to work. And we're going to have arrow for tomorrow somewhere, somehow, and that's going to be this one right here. Then we're going to have users. It's going to be this one. Then we're going to have a cog for the settings, and then a logout, which is going to be this icon right here. Cool. Now let's just lock this layer because we want to work with the icons and we want to make them almost equal in width. Just center these guys, and yeah, okay. I think these are looking good. Maybe 1 or 2 points smaller. Yeah, that will do. Cool. So let's go ahead and let's add some color to the equation. So let's give it a shot and add the color around these lines for the calendar. Today it's going to be red, or actually let's make this one in some sort of like a color which is next to this one. So yeah, this will work. We're gonna have tomorrow, which is the red. We're going to have users, which is maybe something around these lines. Or actually, tomorrow didn't really work. Okay, I see what's going on here, and that's an easy fix. Settings is going to have the same color as the search, but just a little bit darker. And the logout is going to have the same exact color. Cool. Now, as we can see, we have a little bit of an issue with the spacing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to bring all of this on the right, and now we're going to try some other alternatives. Actually, I'm not too fond of the colors, especially this one right here. We can go with another tint, maybe a darker version of this, and after that possibly go with something like this. Not too sure about it. Okay, yeah, that would do for now. So now I'm actually wondering if reverting the colors, because I want some more color in the equation. We also need this image right here. So how are we gonna do that? Just going to go, yeah, I mean, I need to put this one here. I'm gonna go on Unsplash and let's move things around. Right, let's give it a shot, and let's go for something minimal, of course. And let's try and find an image, maybe something like this would be interesting. Or this one, nope. This one won't do it. This one is kind of cool. Maybe you want something more minimal. Why is it upside down? Why? I guess this one we need to like flip it vertically. Yep. Cool. Not too sure about it. So we're just going to try and find out. This one looks cool, but I'm not sure it's too much in line with what we're trying to achieve here. So we kind of want a image which is kind of in line. Yeah, this one is cool. I guess just the cropping is off. Let's go ahead here. Let's crop. Let's bring it a little bit up. And cool. I think we got it. So let's just close Unsplash, and let's remove the drop shadow as well. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to create a duplicate of this, and we're going to try some different color palettes. Now the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm going to duplicate this style and apply it on this side menu right here. I'm just going to remove the Y and add a little bit more on the X so that we have the drop shadow on the very right. Now I'm gonna try a few things for the top section right here. So maybe you can go with like a green or a purple top section. So yeah, let's just try a few things, see which one we like the most, I guess. This one kind of looks cool, but I'm seeing for a project like this, I'm seeing more of a green that could work. Be something around these lines, and obviously we need to make like all of these guys here white. And let's remove the stroke here. Let's add a little bit of opacity. 70% will do. And let's get rid of this one here as well. Let's go with a linear gradient. So at this point it's just about like trying a few things out and seeing if anything leads to any good direction. And ideally I want to go like high in saturation, but not too much, so it interferes with the final result. Probably going to go with a blue of some sorts. Yeah, maybe something around these lines could work pretty well. Yeah, let's do that. Cool. So I think let's just leave it at this. Maybe the only thing I would change is the background fill. So that would be this one right here, something around these lines. Maybe let's just take this one and remove a little bit of the shadow intensity. So yeah, cool. We actually have two versions. I'm curious to hear which one you guys like the most, the more white approach or the blue one. So feel free to leave a comment below letting me know this, and yeah, thanks for watching. So I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up and feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or want to add to the conversation. And on my YouTube channel, I have over 300 videos on all sorts of UI UX related subject. So both software tutorials and also freelancing tutorials and anything UI UX really. So feel free to check it out and subscribe and turn on the bell notification if you want to be notified each and every time a new video comes out. And apart from that, we'll see you on the next video.